Hello, welcome back to the Ouchmouse Heart Saga, and it's not over. Hi, hello. Filming slightly further back today because the sun is deciding to sabotage me and shining right in my face. Do I have POTS? It's complicated. After I'd had my tilt table test, I received a letter in the post of what I thought might be my results, but in fact was a summary of the phone call that I had before the tilt table test and a letter saying, "We will book you a tilt table test." The letter basically sums up everything that I've summed up in videos, and it suggests at the end, Max may have an element of vasovagal syncope as well as POTS. If this tilt table test is positive, I will make further management. So my tilt table test results came back, and it's kind of positive, and yet further management has not been made. So here's my nicely redacted letter that I'm going to read for you. The patient had a tilt table test carried out on the 19th of October 2020 according to the POTS protocol. Baseline ECG showed sinus rhythm with a rate of 78 beats per minute and patient's blood pressure was 111/60. On immediate tilting, blood pressure was elevated at 127/73 and his heart rate was 115 beats per minute. Patient described not feeling good. At that point, blood pressure was reported at 112/74 and his heart rate was 145 beats per minute in sinus tachycardia. The lowest blood pressure recorded during the event was 99/69. So when I was tilted, my heart rate increased up to 145 beats per minute from 78 beats per minute, and my blood pressure did all sorts of fluctuating. It went up and then it went down and then it went and then it went down. And here's what the doctor said about those results. This is not a definitive test to suggest that this is POTS, as the blood pressure was not significantly lowered. In that viewpoint, I think the advice here would be to increase fluid intake, increase salt intake, and continue to take his propranolol, which the dose can be increased if necessary. I have not made any further arrangements to follow up this patient again. Yours sincerely, Doctor. But there's a backside. P.S. This could potentially be POTS because his heart rate did increase to 145 beats per minute and he felt a bit dizzy at the time. He should continue taking his propranolol and can increase the dose if required. So, according to his correspondence, the diagnostic criteria, and my results, he said if the tilt table test was positive, he would make further management, and sort of made it sound like the tilt table test being positive would suggest that I had POTS, and that would be what he managed. My tilt table test was positive by the diagnostic criteria. So the diagnostic criteria, for those who don't know, I'll put a link down to it in the description. I'm going to use the NHS website because I went to the NHS. Is when you're tilted, you need to have an increase of 30 beats per minute or more plus symptoms, and that would suggest POTS. There is no mention of blood pressure. So I'm unsure as to why he's included thoughts about blood pressure, because there are different types of POTS. Especially with hyperadrenergic POTS, blood pressure goes up. So blood pressure doesn't need to go down necessarily to have POTS. Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome exists completely separately to any sort of blood pressure changes, because blood pressure changes are a result of the heart rate. Because when your heart rate is going fast, it's not beating as strongly, therefore it's not necessarily creating a stronger contraction and rising the blood pressure, especially not the top number, because the top number is the pressure when squeezing. So when I was tilted, my heart rate nearly doubled, which is definitely way over the 30 beats per minute required, and I had the symptoms. So by the NHS diagnostic criteria, the test results suggest that I have POTS. And this doctor has suggested that he doesn't think it is, but it still could be, but discharged me. So I rang my doctor and I'm going to talk to my GP about the results and what they mean and what we're going to do from here. And I checked on my online record and they seem to have coded the problem as POTS, so I think they have diagnosed me as POTS, but I'm not really sure. That's on the 8th, but I'm going to be doing Vlogmas and I kind of just want to have fun with it. So Please stay tuned for 2021 when I will update on what happened with that. I don't really understand why we still don't know what the problem is for sure, because he hasn't written it down, but then he discharged me without any further steps. Confused. So do I have POTS? I think I do. Diagnostically I probably do. Officially on paper, that's a bit up in the air. So don't forget to like this video in solidarity with me. Drop a comment down below if you are equally frustrated with the NHS for whatever reason. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my definitive do I have POTS video whenever I find out, and ring that notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a new video. Videos go up every Saturday at 6 PM UK time, with at least one bonus video every single month, apart from December where I'm doing Vlogmas, and that's one video every day for 25 days. See ya!